What up, nerds? And welcome to another Florida Woman episode of Straight Chilling, the weekly horror movie review show where you chill and we kill, slice, dice, and chop up yet another horror movie. My name is Bob. I'll be your host for the evening. This is episode 531, recorded on Monday, June 9th, 2025. Tonight, we're talking about Crawl from 2019. This was the winner of the June poll. Before we get into it, let me introduce everyone else on the show tonight. First up, calling in from Washington, D.C., we got your boy Rand Diesel.
They call me the Crocodile Man.
What's up, baby? You ready to talk about our home state? You ready to get dirty in the fucking muck?
Filthy. Yes,
Hell yeah,
always. Let's roll around underwater, Randy, together.
It wouldn't be the first time, baby.
Won't be the last. Next up, everybody's favorite little apex predator. Welcome, Soju. What's up, man?
Oh, what up? It's your boy Gator Bait Stains. Gator. Go Gator.
Gator
Roll
bait.
Tide.
Gator bait.
Unrelated, but sure.
You just yell them at each other, you know.
It's the roll tide of the deep south. The dirty
Gator
south.
Bait.
Gator bait.
Dude, I had no idea that this movie was based in Gainesville, or started in Gainesville at least. I was like, whoa, what the hell?
Ooh, first
What the
timer.
That's relevant.
Yeah, they are.
We're here to play.
Florida sports.
We're here.
They're all the same. Apparently, we're really good at hockey, though, somehow, which is the one that we should suck at.
Who's good at hockey?
The Florida Panthers are like killing it.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
Hockey team.
It's a
Just a
hockey,
Florida hockey. There's a Florida hockey
There's
team.
two. Well, there's the Lightning and the
Yes.
Panthers. There's more than
Where
one.
are they based out of?
Oh, no, that's a really
Tampa,
good
right?
question. The Lightning's in Tampa, I know.
I have no idea about any of
Siri
this.
or Alexa or whomever.
I know the Lizard Kings. Okay, that's my team.
Hell yeah, dude. Lizard Kings. There was another one we had for a little bit too in Jan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Icemen or
yeah.
something.
There's
Another one between those though too. I think.
Those are the only two.
The shrimp.
The jumbo
The shrimp, yeah. The jumbo
Previously,
shrimp.
the
Yeah,
Suns.
we are big sports fans.
We are
here.
sportsmen.
Men of the sport.
It's true. We're
We
talking
play
about.
them. We watch them.
We're here to play
Miami metro area.
Miami. Okay.
Panthers.
Oh, is that where the hockey is
Yeah.
played? Tampa
Yeah.
and Miami. Okay.
Man, I didn't think it's amazing that we can still find topics that we are less informed on than the movies we talk about.
Yes.
It's amazing how little we really
got
know
it covered.
when you get down to it. We're talking about
yeah.
Crawl tonight. Before we get into it, though, let's tackle a little bit of housekeeping real quick. Actually, there's kind of a lot. So our July poll is currently posted over on our Patreon website. If you guys support us at the $5 level or above, oh, shit, check. I got a delay already.
Oh shit! Check.
Oh,
Shit
check.
I got a shit check.
Oh, gotta check my drawer.
That's what I
I
say
thought
for
something was
every-
going on with them shorts.
All my sound checks
the
go like,
shit.
oh shit! Check.
The check.
Oh, shit.
Our July poll is currently posted over on our Patreon website. If you guys support us at the $5 level or above, you get the chance to vote on a movie we're talking about this July. The theme for July is 1985. This is my takeover month, and I wanted to reflect on three of my favorite films of all time. All from
And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis?
always, Randy. All three movies are from 1985. They are Reanimator, Day of the Dead, and Return of the Living Dead.
Whoa, Bob. Oh, how are those numbers looking?
It was an exciting week, for me at least, as I checked the polls.
Oh, whoa, back and forth, huh?
Yeah, there was at one point, about a day or two ago, a dead heat between all three.
Wow.
They were
yeah, dude.
going all over the place. It's still really close. Things have switched. So last time we did this, Day of the Dead was in first place. Somewhere midweek, Reanimator took it. Now Return of the Living Dead's on top. So
Wow.
Return of the Living Dead, 37% of the vote. The other two are tied for second place with 32% each.
All right.
Damn,
An
that's
actual
still a
competitive
decade.
race.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see how this one shakes out. I'm excited.
So
The
some
good
heavy
news is there's
hitters.
not a real loser in this bunch.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
All three I would be excited to revisit. So we'll be seeing next week.
Yeah, we
So-
technically reviewed all three of these movies within the first year of the show, which are you can't really find those episodes anywhere but our website. Most people probably haven't heard them. Sound quality's not great, so
Yeah.
fair
The
game for a
commentary's
redo.
not great.
Yeah,
The level of
more
knowledge is not
importantly.
great.
Yeah, more importantly. So yeah, get those votes in before the end of the month. We'll see what we're talking about this July. We are still dropping mini casts every other Friday over on Patreon. If you guys support us at the $10 level or above, you get access to over 150 mini casts available to you on Patreon. You can also listen to those via your podcatcher of choice. Just dropped one last Friday on The Ugly Stepsister. And next up is going to be Dangerous Animals, dropping Friday, June 20th. Check it out.
New hotness, huh? From Australia.
Yeah,
Man, I didn't realize that had come out.
yeah. It did. It snuck out another heater from Australia. I saw this in the theater. It did have a Shudder bumper on the front, so at some point I'm sure it'll find its way over to Shudder. But I think it suits the big screen pretty well. So if it's playing near you, try and get to it. Really fun summer kind of slasher shark movie, weird subgenre mashup kind of thing. Pretty cool.
Oh,
Check
right.
it out.
all right, Aussies.
Killing it.
I see you've played Knifey Spoony before.
Did I do a mini cast on that Flying Lotus movie?
You would know better than us.
I was trying to remember because I had this weird memory of like maybe recording it, but now I'm like, did I send it to Bob? Did I actually record it? But maybe I didn't.
I know we
Next
talked
episode is going to be
about
an
it.
intervention.
Yeah, I
to talk
feel
about
like
here.
maybe I have a secret bonus mini episode just recorded on my
These drunken recordings have gone too far. Okay, all right, intervention time.
So
Oh my god.
it is not.
No, I'll
Posted.
check
It's
not
my
a thing that
computer.
exists.
Once this episode's done, I'll check the computer.
If it doesn't exist, I am going to laugh a lot.
I definitely watched that movie. I thought I maybe recorded it, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll look into that. We're gonna call the headquarters and have them look into that.
It's,
I call bullshit on that.
it's possible you sent it to me and I forgot about it. But like I know we talked about you doing one, but I can't remember if you did. So, I don't know.
I'll look into that.
That might
All right.
Ash is the movie you're talking about, by the way.
Ash, yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
there'll be a
That-
bonus episode about that.
It's not a good sign that the title was lost as well in the memory banks.
So hey, last bit of Patreon news: we are going to be reopening the "You Pick the Flick" tier for a final
Oh, shit.
time this year.
Final time,
Final
Bob?
time.
Whoa.
It's only June.
I know. I'm a sick son of a bitch. That's what.
What?
That's illegal, right? Yeah, it's a felony.
It's a felony.
A felony.
Yes.
Is that a
Wow.
felony,
Wow.
Bob?
It's a felony. So we are going to be reopening the "You Pick the Flick" tier Tuesday, July 1st. So it's a
Tuesday, you say?
couple different things going on. It's a lot of information, some weird fuckery afoot. I know. I'm sorry. So this is the only way you guys can outright pick a movie for us to review on the show. Typically, we open this tier once a quarter. We're going to be just doing it one more time for the second half of the year, and there's only going to be 6 spots available.
But Bob, I wanted 10.
I know. I'm so sorry. You'll have to complain to Justin about that. He's the complaint department. He wants all those emails. Sojubootyhole69 at AOL.hotmail.com.
Yeah, you can just slide into my DMs and
just
And other places. You know.
give him the old shit check, So, yeah, 6 spots, Tuesday, July 1st. So Patreon started charging people in this manner that's somewhat frustrating. So we typically try to open this up on a weekend, but some people were getting double charged last time we did it. So if we open it up on the 1st, you're only going to get charged once on the 1st. That's a guarantee. Just kind of streamlines everything a little bit for us. So mark
It's a
your
pretty good cover
calendars.
for our pump and dump scheme here, you know.
I know, yeah.
The second,
Get those
hey,
Q-Check
investors, nothing is going to sell quicker than the secondary market of straight chilling picks, all right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you
eBay's
get
going to be a light.
one QJ coin per you pick locks
yeah.
down. So, get on
But
it.
how many slurp juices is that?
Slurp juices?
That's a thing. Don't worry about it.
I don't know what that. I'm not hip. I don't know what's going on.
Trust me, you are better off.
Cool.
I assure you.
All right. Don't Google slurp juices. Got it. So, yeah, mark your calendars. Tuesday, July 1st. You Pick the Flick reopens. 6 spots available. Nobody has chosen 2 movies yet this year, so it's fair game for anybody that wants to grab one. Get on it. Let's do it. Groovy. All right, last bit of not Patreon news, just news in general from Bob anyways. We got a brand new commentary dropping this Friday the 13th from Mikey and myself from Let's Get Physical Media.
Oh.
Whoa,
What
commentary.
could it be?
Is
What
it
could it
on
be
Friday
about?
the 13th? The
Who-
film? I
knows?
would guess 2, maybe.
I'm guessing remake. I'm guessing Platinum Dunes.
We have we already did one for part 2. That's a good guess.
Oh, well
because
then, okay.
We love that.
Because Bob
shit.
just wants to. Bob has been rejected.
That's never stopped you
so
before.
many
Your entire
times.
poll pick this month is about repeats. So,
I know.
mean,
I know. So yeah, check that out over at Let's Get Physical Media, everywhere you get your podcasts. This is our 3rd Friday the 13th commentary. We'll get to them all eventually. Don't you worry. That's all I got. You guys have anything you need to plug?
Yes. So as of this episode dropping, an episode of Plug It Up should be out with my name all over it.
What?
Our friend Caitlin at Plug It Up has invited me over to watch Fear Street Prom Queen.
She invited
on the
you
show.
over. I'm jealous.
Well, invited me to be on the show is what I meant.
Oh, okay.
No, they're not inviting. She's not inviting me over to the home. No, I'm not
Randy,
giving
I'm not
addresses.
believing you.
You know,
I know, right?
Sounds like you're really hiding something over there.
well, would that it
I've
were
never
true.
been
But,
to anybody's home, says Randy.
I'm invited to very few personal homes. But yeah, Fear Street Prom Queen, the brand new drop on Netflix. Follow up to that trio of films that came out in, what was it, 21 maybe?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we had a nice talk about that. There's some hot opinions about that movie out there, and ours is hot too. You know,
Whoa.
Ooh, how hot?
got a pretty.
Like, really?
Not very. I'm just
Not
trying to
very.
sell it.
Oh, okay. Cool. Check out Plug It Up everywhere you get your podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Juice, you got anything?
I'm clean, baby.
Squeaky.
All right, let's clean this shit.
This house is clean.
All right, we're getting into the main event. We're talking about Crawl, and we're kicking it off with the back of the box.
What's on the back of the box?
Bob, you got this box?
Yep, you can get this on Blu-ray, like anywhere, everywhere.
All right. In watching this film, there's a specific scene that reminded me that I have a Korean poster for this, which made me really sad because they don't do that anymore. They stopped a couple years ago, but it was one that I got, and then it reminded me this came out in 2019, and then that also made me really sad.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, I know. I did a mini cast on this in 2019. It feels like yesterday, but it was not yesterday.
Yeah, that's
was not yesterday.
6 years ago, boys.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's 2019. Like 6
Shit.
years ago.
Anyways,
I don't like it.
we're talking about Crawl. Crawl.
Talking about Crow.
And not our impending
2019.
mortality.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God. This is rated R with a runtime of an hour and 27 minutes. This was directed by
R for Gator.
R for exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Directed by
Gator.
Alexandra Aja. Who also did... He also did that Piranha 3D movie and The Hills Have Eyes remake.
Yeah.
Some other stuff. This stars Kaya Scodelario, Barry Pepper. It's a fun little name, isn't it?
It's a fun little name. You forgot High Tension, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I was about to say there's a bigger one. He did.
His best one, yeah. Ross Anderson, George Somer, some other folks. It's really all about Kaya Scodelario here. Scodelario. Plot synopsis brought to you by IMDb is as follows. Gigantic alligators swarm around a young woman and her father as floodwaters engulf their home. There you go. Gentlemen, have you seen this movie before? Would you recommend folks at home check it out? Ray and Diesel, kick us off.
I have seen this before. I do believe I saw this in theaters. I'm like 90% sure of that. But it's been 6 years, so who the fuck knows? And generally, I think I would recommend it. I would certainly recommend it to the Floridians in the audience because it's heavily Florida coded. Whether or not you think it does a good job at that is a great conversation to have. So I think
we will be having.
We're gonna have it.
We're gonna have that one, and I don't know. I think this is the definition of a medium to loose recommend for me personally.
We're defining it. Right on. Yeah. Juice. What about you?
I had never seen this before, and I would not particularly recommend. I didn't think it was that good. I guess it's an okay creature feature, but we'll get into it later. But usually I like my creature features to have a little bit more camp going on. I feel like this one didn't really have a lot of levity or jokiness to it for a creature feature. So,
if
no.
Dick, this is where I'd tell you to suck it.
Yeah, I wouldn't really recommend.
Yeah.
And I remember that reminded me too that I wasn't like super hot. I had never seen Lake Placid when we covered it. I wasn't super hot on that one. So maybe gators aren't my thing. I don't know.
Man.
I don't know.
Lake Placid.
More into big snakes, you know. Not really a gator guy.
I'll bet you are, baby.
Yeah.
Huge.
That's no secret.
Yeah. They gotta be throbbing now. Bob, would you recommend people check this out?
I'm just into them. I don't think so. The first time I watched this, I had a decent time with it. So like in my memory, I was like, yeah, that's a fun little movie, whatever. This rewatch is like, it's a bit shit, actually, I think. Sorry to say. So not really.
Shit. Just a little bit of shit.
It's a little booty, I think, which,
yeah.
What do you mean you don't like it?
We'll get into the reasons why I feel that way. But, yeah, that sounds like
not really
a medium to loose recommendation.
I mean, at the end of the day.
Loose, medium. No. Medium, loose.
Loose
I'd
to
say
large.
extra loose on that one.
Extra, like Jinko loose. Like,
Jesus,
that's a Jinko fair right there.
Like you're walking on your own pants in the, through the floodwaters.
Oh my God!
You just gotta burn them afterwards.
Oof! In the Florida heat.
In the
in the Florida July heat.
Oh yeah, that's why you don't want the
old rusty
your
gutter.
Leg.
Yeah.
Got to get those waders, baby.
The old rusty gutter.
The Jinko brand waders.
That sounds like I don't know. Watch it if you want to from the Straight Chillin' Crew.
Not really. Sounds like recommend.
That sounds like a skip. This movie's booty. We're going to be spoiling the shit out of Crawl. And here comes your warning.
Spoiler warning.
Bob, this should have been the easiest plot synopsis you've had to write in a while, I think.
Storm, Gator, Copter, roll credits.
Yeah, that's great. All right, let's talk about this movie.
I think we're good.
I do have one if you actually want to hear it, though.
Sure,
Okay.
Bob.
Yeah, it is relatively short, so here we go. University of Florida swimmer Haley Keller receives a call from her sister Beth advising her that she leave the state ahead of a Category 5 hurricane making landfall. Concerned for estranged father, Haley checks on him at his condo, but he's not there. Against the direction of Wayne, her sister's ex-boyfriend and Florida State Trooper. To evacuate, she takes her dad's dog to their family's home in Coral Lake to see if he is there. Haley finds the house empty and enters the crawl space where she finds her dad injured but alive. She tries to get him out, but they are pinned in by a large gator. Haley drops her phone when she tries to get it back. Her leg and her phone are crushed by a surprise second gator. She sees 3 looters at a gas station across the street get eaten by gators swimming in the rising floodwaters. Wayne and his partner Pete arrive at the house looking for Haley and her father. Pete is attacked and torn to shreds. Wayne enters the house and is also killed by a gator. Haley locates the storm drain and tries to escape through it, but finds the gators have made a nest and laid eggs inside. She's attacked by a gator. She kills it with Wayne's gun. With the crawl space almost entirely flooded, Haley swims out through the storm drain and goes back into the house. She busts through the floor with a crowbar and pulls her dad up. She takes the dog out to get on a boat outside. However, a nearby levee breaks right as the eye of the hurricane is over the house. The rushing waters throw them back into the house. Dad and the dog go upstairs, and Dad gets his forearm bitten off by a gator. Haley finds a police radio and calls for help. She then traps another gator in the shower and makes her way to the attic. Another gator tries to kill her with a death roll. She stabs it in the eye with a flare. Haley and her dad and the dog all make it to the roof. A rescue copter flies overhead as Haley lights another flare and waves it down. Roll them credits.
There it is.
There it is.
You go. I got a bunch of just a bunch of complaints, really. I got a bunch of Florida ass complaints, and then I've got just normal logic complaints, I think, that maybe most people
that's fair.
would.
One thing I would like to one thing I would like to know, just as this is not really connected to the film necessarily, but so the main actress in this, she's British, and I know her from the same series, season of Skins, as the guy from Sinners that we watched just a couple weeks ago.
Shit.
Yeah, with Jack O'Connell, or something like that.
Yeah.
O'Connell. Yeah, they're from the same season. They date in that, and I was like, oh, here she is doing a Florida accent.
She does better than her dad with the accent, who's just Canadian as fuck. That dude
really
is. His accent was slipping in there pretty good, I thought.
Yeah.
And
I didn't really clock it myself.
This movie's not full of great acting, but that dad he was not doing it for me. I thought he was.
That's so crazy because he is the best pedigree in the film. Barry Pepper is excellent in The Green Mile and Saving Private Ryan. I haven't seen True Grit, but he's in that. He's in a lot of good movies, and I've seen him do really well. It was actually surprising to me how bad he was in this, but I kind of chalked it up mostly to the writing because I didn't think the writing was good. The
writing is pretty bad too. Yeah,
it's pretty bad. Pretty
bad.
I did want to start off by first of all just totally agreeing. You kind of said the my inner feelings out loud, which is that I saw this movie and was I think I was pleasantly surprised the first time, and that impression reversed completely this time. I don't think that I'm quite as sour on it as you are. I'm more sad that I didn't enjoy it the way I thought I did. There's a lot to it the first time where I was this isn't so bad, and there's still some good shit in it, but it's harder to defend having seen it with fresh eyes.
If you don't pay full attention to it, it's you're not gonna have a terrible time.
You close one eye,
No, I remember in my memory, even though I had never seen it, I was going into this thinking at least I was I think Bob really liked this movie when it came out and thought it was really fun. So I was expecting some kind of goofy creature feature, and I was disappointed.
Sorry.
Oh man, this movie is it's a big nothing. When they get caught in the basement or in the crawl space, whoa. I was really? This is it? This is what? I don't know. It was just the kind of dumb.
The dad,
it is dumb.
Who has lived in Florida, owns 2 properties in Florida, goes to a house to fix a plumbing leak under the house when there's a Cat 5 hurricane on the way. Like, nobody would ever do that.
He was gonna hunker down, Bob.
I mean, I think he had.
How do you hunker?
He had some boards in his truck. Like, you board up the windows, you put the sandbags in front of the doors. Like, he didn't even bother to close his damn garage door. It was like wide fucking open. There's just like certain like logical leaps, and also like that is a unfinished basement. I've never seen a crawl space that big in my entire life.
Actually, no, you know what? Y'all had mentioned, like, you made jokes about it being a basement. I have specifically, especially close to the beach, worked on properties that have crawl spaces like that. I have seen it specifically when they're in more like flood zone areas.
Yeah.
I've run like duck work and stuff under houses that have crawl spaces that big. Yeah. So that's not
in
that
my
crazy.
memory, it was a true basement. And I was like, I was actually surprised. I was like, okay, so this is more like something you might see down in the Keys or some shit, like where it's like they put them on pretty high lifts, I guess.
Yeah, or just
I don't know.
Stilts. There was like the level of flooding, like how everything around, like this house is not on a hill, but everything around it seems to be like under several feet of water, but she can still like look out these little holes in the breeze blocks and see things, but like there's an inch of water in the crawl space. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. And then she like the dock out back is under like several feet of water, and she sees like the looters try and steal the ATM and put it in a boat, and like she sees them in a boat. And then at the end of the movie, even after she like swims out the drain pipe and over the dock and somehow is able to run back into the house, and then she's like, "Let's get to the truck.
Let's get to the car."
Like,
yeah,
it's flooded as fuck. Like you've seen
that shit
how
blew my
flooded
mind.
everything is.
Yeah, that was a really stupid comment.
like,
that made me go to, get to the truck. What the fuck are you talking
She's
about?
surprised. She walks out and she's like, "Oh no!" Like it's
what
everything
the fuck?
is flooded. I don't. What is happening?
Also, too, I don't know. Like, I didn't understand the logic. I mean, the gator got in through a giant pipe. What is that pipe? What is that? What were they talking about?
Man. It's the biggest drainage pipe.
Yeah, that gator. The gator is huge. It's bigger than a person. What pipe do you have in your house?
It just goes from the house to the lake.
Yeah,
I got the impression. I think it was a drain pipe. I don't think it was for the house. I think it's like my guess, and this is me like extrapolating, but my assumption is that it's a drainage pipe for like a municipal use drainage pipe, but their little basement or whatever, their little crawl space had a big hole in it, like that busted through. Like I'm guessing it's just like accidentally connected to this drain pipe.
Dude,
but she like crawled through the pipe, and then there was a bunch of nests and eggs and shit in there.
I know, but she had to crawl through broken bricks to get there. So I took it as like, this is not supposed to be. That part, yeah, it still doesn't make sense. But at least it's not technically supposed to be part of the house, I don't think.
We saw the intro of the first Gator, and he full on Kool-Aid Man burst through the fucking stairs. So I guess he did the same with the bricks, man. When that shit happened, I was like face palming, like, oh my God, what the fuck?
Also, too, for me, there is absolutely zero tension in this movie because I was like, everybody's dead because their wounds are ridiculous.
Oh,
and they
rough.
they would die. Infection. You're talking about getting caught in a hurricane flood. That's shit water. You're like,
I'm feeling woozy, yeah.
Your bones are sticking out. At one point, the dad's arm is gone. It's like you're infection everywhere. There's just so much.
He starts with a giant deep gouge in his fucking shoulder.
Wait, his shirt is not torn. By the way,
well,
she has to pull his shirt aside. A gator bit him, but his shirt is fine.
It's made really well.
Look,
they don't
he
make
gets
him like they used to.
bitten, and he's down there passed out. He then breaks his leg. He then gets almost drowned. He has to be resuscitated. Then he gets his arm busted off, and then he uses the other arm to save her in the last second.
It's like that man is dead.
That is not a living man. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, her bite. No, you're infection. You're dead anyways. Just give up. Just
or
let
at
the
least
gators
gangrene.
have
I mean,
you.
it's not immediate, but it's just give up.
Just lay down.
I don't know, but like the multiple like life threatening injuries and
Open
situations
wounds.
that they somehow get through is like, man, it's just like, this feels pulpy, but like to your point, whoever it was that said it, it was like, it wasn't like pulpy in a kind of tongue-in-cheek way. It was just kind of, it was
kind of bad.
Trying to play it straight, and it just wasn't
like they thought
able
it
to
made
do that.
sense to be surprised that you can't drive your car right now.
It kind of reminds me of like an Italian film a little bit, like where the facts don't matter. The vibes
needed
are all
to
that
have a
matter.
little more of that Piranha 3D tongue-in-cheekness.
Yeah, that's what I was
to it.
expecting on it, like an anaconda, or I needed some like wacky character, or I don't know. The gators look like shit too, and there's like
They
a
do,
million.
yeah.
I also too like the whole nest thing. I thought it was going to be playing with the idea because they do these oh my God. At the beginning of this film, there's like 10 set up lingering shots of look at this screwdriver and look at this like swing in the backyard. I bet that's going to come into play. Like everything that's going to come into play is focused on significantly
really
setting
thought
this. Oh, dude, it does it with everything. But one of the things that they did that I thought was going to play in was as she's driving down the highway, they focus on the alligator farm sign. And I was like, oh, the hurricane blows through, a bunch of gators escape from the alligator farm. That's...
You got a gator cane coming.
That makes some Florida sense, but
some
but
Florida sense.
They just exist. There's so many gators that
And they're ravenous, apparently.
Yeah, they're like.
I mean, that's more like I don't know. Like I don't think I think it's likely to have just as likely to have a nest of gators near you as it is escaped gators from the gator zoo. Like I think that's.
But escaped gators from the gator zoo is more pulpy, I guess, is
Okay.
my thing.
Sure. It's more fun.
The hurricane
maybe.
winds are blowing gators through the damn air or some shit.
They would not be just ripping people to shreds, like swarming. They'd be like hiding, trying to save their
To
own
shreds,
lives.
you say.
To fucking shreds. The other thing about this movie that bothered me is like, there's like nobody dies because of the storm. They only die because they get ripped by these gators. Like nobody drowns. Like there's no down power lines or like, tree limbs like impale anybody or like there's so many.
That's
like
the power man in you speaking.
So yeah, there's so many like other dangers that come with like a fucking Category 5 hurricane. Like nobody gets thrown by the wind. There's no tornadoes.
Dude, the wind barely factors in. It really annoyed me that they got to the eye of the storm and they didn't even realize like there was nothing, no like debris flying around. It just like the rain stopped, and that's how you knew you were in the eye. It's like, what the fuck? That's not how. That's not the thrust of a hurricane is not the rain. It's the wind.
Yeah, the levee breaks, and it still takes like 20 minutes for the house to flood. Like houses flood in seconds. Like when the dad he takes out the measuring tape and he measures like a foot of water in the crawl space, and he's like, "We only got about another hour before this thing's totally full of water." And I was like, "Dude, I would have been flooded like hours ago." It's just like.
Also, he's got that shovel and never like she gets the crowbar and she starts taking apart the floor or whatever. And he never tries to use it to pry the floorboards up from the basement. I'm like, oh man.
True.
I don't know if he had it down there or not.
Yeah, because he was banging on the pipes.
Well, he had it, but like but they move locations a few times, and I don't remember the exact like position of all that stuff. The thing is, like, it's also really hard to keep track of where they are in the crawl space. They try, but it just doesn't really like visually. It doesn't read like a different location. Like I had a hard time tracking it. I would say this though, the gators the first time didn't bother me. They're CG. This time they bothered me. It was very CG, and like I don't know, like it's just not quite there, man. That's the thing, is it's not quite there. And at the same time, the positive, I will say, not about the CG, but about generally the shooting is like probably the strongest thing about this movie. I think that like some of the blocking and stuff is very cinematic and nice looking. Like I think that like some of the like the establishing shots showing like the palm trees or whatever, it's like it's very expected, but it does its job. You know what I mean? Underneath, once you get in the crawl space, not so much.
Yeah.
But like seeing the tail whip around or whatever, and regardless of the CG quality, like they do a decent job of like showing what they want to like what they need to show in camera, I think, or on screen at the right time. It's got a cinematic look is what I'm trying to get at, and I really appreciated that much. I thought the color of it looked good and things like that.
Yeah,
that's maybe where the like praise ends though.
The guys,
you were saying,
the guys that
actually. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, I think that was just another positive to tack on to Randy. The guys who get eaten in the convenience store, they're like killed where most of the gators are like it's still in the water. You don't see them too well, and I thought those kills looked really good. And that like convenience store setting with them like swimming through the aisles was like kind of unique and interesting. It's like
the
that
pan up
that worked. Yeah,
the dolly up from the guy getting fully ripped apart by lots of gators. I thought that was a great looking kill.
Yeah.
I really liked that.
Yeah.
Dude just like took 2 raw ass hot dogs and like slammed them. That's
Dude.
And like, yeah, dude, that was disgusting.
Why was he stealing dollar sunglasses? Why are you taking?
I fucking don't know, man. Because he's an idiot, I guess. But like,
that
even
sun
idiots
still
know better than
shines through that
shit.
Cat 5 hurricane. Apparently, that was
damn it.
there was way too much sunlight in this movie though for it being a huge storm. Another Florida complaint, I guess.
I think the main actress, I think she did a good job though. Like, I don't think it's her fault.
I agree with that.
I disagree.
Oh, really? I didn't think she was doing a bad job. I just thought that this movie was like written in a very boring type of way, but I didn't think she did bad.
No, I think that the writing is largely to blame for both her and Barry Pepper's performance. I don't know what she's done. Like, I haven't seen her in anything else. I've seen Barry Pepper perform really fucking well when he's given good material and given, you know, a good director to do that with him. I don't know about her, but from what I saw, like, man, she made like 3 faces the whole fucking movie. And like, I was not about her performance at all. It was not selling. Hard no sell for me. She's by far the weakest actor in the movie to me.
She's an apex predator, Randy. What do you expect?
Dude, that shit was so stupid.
That was very,
oh my God, that shit was so stupid.
The
it felt like a
flashback?
fucking Aja, dude. He's like stuck in 2006 or some shit. This felt like such a 2006 movie.
Dude,
man.
even I remember when the movie came out, that was one thing. I was like, the all day thing was already over at that point. It was already passe. All day. And I'm like,
Apex
that shit's
Predator
done.
all day. The flashback where he's talking to his like 7-year-old, 8-year-old daughter, and he's like, "You're an apex predator. Don't you ever forget that." I was like, "Who the fuck is talking to their
you're swimming
child like that?
This is not,
What is happening here?" Like,
well, Florida man. To be fair, that's not that far
Well,
off.
he's
to be honest.
coach dad. Like, I don't know. Like, I think that like, here's the thing. Like the way this movie is set up, like the general idea of overbearing coach dad, split with daughter after splitting with wife because he was too dedicated to pushing her over the limit or whatever, all this stuff. Like, there's something that could be made with that, but it's just done so rotely and so dully, and like every line feels like it just feels like ChatGPT wrote it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like the most obvious shit that could be said or something cringily out of date. Like,
but also too,
this is what's killing me about it.
Yeah. Also, too, the idea of this is another thing too. Florida, I guess, Gator, whatever you want to call it, but you're not gonna outswim a gator. You're not gonna swim fast. Swim as fast as you've ever swam, so you
like
can outrun this
miles
game.
an hour, like.
No, there's no way. And also, too, when it bites her and she's underground, but it's not doing the death roll yet, or does it do that? I don't know. I was like, you're dead. Everybody, you're not.
Yeah.
Getting out of a
she
gator
gets the
bite.
I don't know, man.
The second story death roll is when that happens.
Also, too, they're too big to be hunted by gators. Gators don't hunt male adults?
No, they leave. If you leave them alone, they leave you alone. Like you don't really.
The
have
dog.
To worry
I
about
thought
it.
I thought the dog was gonna got that one
so
to win
pleased that the dog
Yeah.
didn't make.
Me too. I thought
Because that would have
they were
really
setting that
blackened
up.
the last eye this movie had to blacken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead, took the dude's arm.
When she
which is-
she traps that gator in the plastic ass shower door, I was like, that his tail would blast through that.
Dude, for real, like he burst
Also, too,
through
with the amount
wooden
of-
stairs
and probably
an
brick.
hour prior.
Also, the amount of water that was in there, I don't think you'd be able to close that door.
That's a fair point.
Those rollers,
the way
man,
depends on how it's Russian.
Yeah.
You got them greased up enough, they'll do anything.
But they really
Heard
are
that
roller
before.
They'll do. That'll do anything.
Grease them up enough. But yeah, this movie also too, I really didn't know that it was, I mean, I guess I should have assumed it was set in Florida, but like them starting off in Gainesville, I was like, whoa, I wasn't prepared to go home today.
Yeah.
It was
like
just
this-
kind of shocking to see the UNF. I mean, not UNF. Oh Jesus,
UF.
the UF, the Gator symbol, and like her wearing the sports hoodie or whatever with the name on it. It was just, and then driving down, the highway, and
we just don't get a lot of that very direct reference like that. And that's the thing, is like this movie, because it is making very hard direct references to Florida specific shit, it makes all the inconsistencies and weird things stand out. It's like I'm grading a book report on Florida from a middle schooler. It doesn't feel like it feels like they're trying to make it authentic, but they're not doing all the
this is a
diligence they should.
Frenchman. I mean, come on.
Right.
These people have never seen a flood or a gator before in their lives. Like it feels very.
This
clear.
is a Frenchman, a British woman, and
Canadian
Canadian.
man. Yeah.
Jesus,
Mary Pepper.
talking about Florida.
Yeah.
You don't know
Talking
shit.
about some Florida. I'm sick of all
daddy's
these
little apex
non-Floridas
predator?
trying to be them apex predator. Talking about some apex predator down in Florida. That's my Uncle Baby Billy for no reason.
That's pretty good. Everybody knows a true Florida man would just start shooting, just start blasting at the hurricane. That's how you
Just
dissipate
start
it.
blasting.
That's how you get rid of
Oh
it.
yeah, you just blast those gators right out of the sky before they reach the water. That's how you get them.
That's what you do.
Oh yeah.
There's all the helicopters just flying around in this hurricane also blew my
Yeah.
mind. Like they would never do that because you would just die.
it's
a
instant
category
death.
5
Yeah.
hurricane. And it's a helicopter.
Yeah.
The most
Yeah.
unstable thing
Kind of-
flying through the sky.
It kind of depends on the stability of air around
Yes.
on every functional level. Like
Jurassic Park taught us that. But yeah, and also, God, when this movie ended, I was like, that's it. It was just so unsatisfying. I don't know. It just kind of, everything about this movie just kind of happened. And every time I was just so underwhelmed by everything.
I think they could have done like I was saying before, like the actual like nuts and pieces of there are nuggets of interesting like character development or whatever. They're trying, it's just not landing. And like if they had somehow reworked it to where it was like landing, the emotional story was working, the acting was better, the fucking lines weren't cringeworthy, then maybe I could forgive like a little bit of a thud ending or whatever, and not like doing no follow up or anything like that, no epilogue or anything. But I like at this point, like if you're gonna just do all that shit and do it kind of like poorly, at least let me see like what the real conclusion is. Like show me like how they recover or whatever. Give me a little bit of something. So like make me feel better about this. I guess I wanted to see the dog happy again. That's what I wanted. Sugar
happy
deserves
dog.
better.
Love a happy dog. Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking, I did some rewrites for this, but I was looking, the writers are some brothers that have interesting names, so I don't think they're from Florida either. So yeah, I don't know.
I read some bit of trivia where the original draft was gonna introduce the Gators in like the third act, and he wanted to bring him in much earlier and make it more action heavy, which sounds like a decent idea, but they just don't.
I mean, I can only imagine.
Good.
I don't know, man. I struggled with it. I could see them like doing better with the human element of the story that way. But that's not a guarantee that it's going to be better based on what we've seen in the human element from this movie. So like don't have a lot of faith that it would add more. And instead, I think it might have dragged the movie down even further. Like, thank God there was like a lot of like fucking scenes of fucking gators bursting out of nowhere. I will say, like the fucking the Wayne or whatever, like the cop whose name we knew, like leaning over the water in the base or in the crawl space or whatever, and looking out and asking, like doing whatever, and then just getting snatched up. That was kind of fun and funny. Like, I wish there was more like that and going on. So like, I think the action is maybe what made it enjoyable.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't have a lot going for it, in my opinion.
It's got that deep blue sea like moments like you would see in Deep Blue Sea, but in between those moments, it does just try to take itself way too seriously. If they hammed it up, this could have been way more fun. And in a situation like that, I think I'd personally tend to be more forgiving on like doo-doo CGI, because like you don't have to be scared by it.
Yeah, if it's fun, it needs to be more silly for me to not give a shit about shitty CGI, because it's not so bad that, if you're having a good time with it, then it doesn't matter. But when that's all there is, then you're like, oh.
It's not like it's Velocipaster level or like fucking Sharknado level CG. This is better than that. I would say it's like near passable. But like you said, like you need it. You need either the serious side of things to really work, or you need the silly side of things to really work in order for you to gloss over that. Otherwise, it's kind of in this uncanny valley of tone. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
To the eye.
Gator Kane.
Oh God. You know what though? I was kind of I've never really thought about it before, but when those people were like stealing shit during the hurricane, I was like, hey, you know what? That's not a too bad idea, because everything's gonna get flooded anyways. Who's gonna say something wasn't stolen? Yeah.
Yeah, those ATM machines
might as well go looting.
Might as well get some half-cooked roller dogs. You know what I'm saying?
And some dollar sunglasses.
They're still good.
Yeah.
I think
some unactivated gift cards.
You sell them on eBay to idiots for half price, and then there you go.
There you go.
Yes.
Those ATM machines, I think, weigh a fuck ton.
Yeah,
I was like, you will not get that into a fucking
tiny
like
ass
what is it?
John boat. That thing would sink immediately. Like,
yes, I also thought that. I love how like all of our critiques have to do with like stealing shit and how that's not like
I don't know, like
plausible.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, the movie leans into, like, for all its faults of realism, it is trying to be realistic. So, like, it's the movie's fault. Like, the movie wants us to take it seriously, wants its internal logic to make sense, and it just fucking doesn't. It's fucking ill-informed shit, or, like, half-baked at best. Like, they do sink that John boat. They, like, the Gator does when they're, like, he's attacking the first girl or whatever that's on the boat or whatever. He's, like, sinking the goddamn boat. And yet it's just fine later. Like,
well, that's what was fucking stupid too, is because that's like the first kills we see is somebody's safe in a boat and they get eaten anyways. No problem. Easily grabbed and eaten. So when she's like in flooded house and she's trying to like step on the table and she's where I was like, they would just eat you. There's no tension here. Like, they overtook a boat, a secured boat, and you're stepping on a table that's already underwater anyway. Like, what are they trying to sell here? It's so stupid.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing to me, guy?
When she drops her phone and then goes like well out of her way to take the long way around to get it to be as safe as possible, and then just makes a call right out in the open to 911, I was like, why are you doing that? Just get
speaking
to
of the
safety
phone,
first. Like that shit drove me nuts.
Speaking of the phone, the fucking gator underwater crunches it with his foot. Let's just ponder that for a second.
It's a very heavy
gator.
foot.
Oh,
it's a big gator, but it's underwater. It can float.
You drop it in the water. That's it. The phone's
That's all you have to say. It's into the water.
Yeah.
The water. I'm sorry. I'm turning into fucking Don Vito over here.
But you got to do the crunch. It's so silly. It really feels like 2006 bullshit. It really feels like cheesy, groan-worthy, like type of shit. Yeah, it's kind of baffling that this was made in 2019, honestly.
Yeah,
they really went for it. And I don't know. There's still something about this movie that I feel like does have, like, I didn't enjoy it the second time. I did enjoy it the first time. I think that's worth saying and worth repeating. Like, it was enjoyable, surprisingly so. This time around, it was not, but it was also like not, I don't know. It wasn't without its fun. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I had more fun with this than I do with a lot of, like, say, the Giallo movies we watch or whatever.
Sure.
It's not a high
watchable.
Bar.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's watchable. That's where I'm going.
It's passable. Yeah. It's just that everything is so cookie cutter. And
yes,
I do think being from Florida gives it that extra negative, because everything is so cookie cutter that the things that they're saying are like, well, that's bullshit. But there's nothing to distract me from that. There's nothing for me to grab my attention and put it elsewhere than to say like, well, this is kind of bullshit.
I think it's kind of a negative and a positive, though, because it keeps me engaged. The rage bait of it keeps me engaged with the movie.
It's all wrong.
This time around, that's more of what I got out of it. It was just like, that doesn't make any fucking sense, right, Beck? Beck's like, no, that doesn't make any sense.
Every time something new got totally flooded out, but that crawl space was dry, I just like got more and more angry. I was like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, it would be.
It's on a hill, Bob.
Apparently, when they drive up to it, it's not. But when they go underneath it, boom, huge hill,
dude. Yeah.
This I don't know that I have anything else to say. Do you guys have anything else you need to say about
Go Gator?
Go Gator. I was trying to think of like the best kills of like different. I definitely think the cop getting pulled, I think that was the one that kind of stands out the most to me.
I think it's the guy, the looter getting ripped apart, but
by a bunch of gators. Yeah.
The looter sequence swarm was pretty solid. Yeah.
There's so many gators. Where did all these gators come from?
We need to like make a gif of that gator bursting through the stairs like that.
That's why also it would make sense more if they got out of the alligator farm, because there's so many gators in one place. But why are there just so many ravenous gators hanging out in
that house? Like,
yeah,
I don't.
I kind of wish there was a
dozens of them.
There was a mutation element to it or something.
Maybe
like, that could have been fun as fuck.
Or like make them bigger. Yeah, make them. Well, I mean, I guess that's like plastic.
Well, maybe it just makes them like ill-tempered or something. Like like makes them like want to kill whatever for like indiscriminately. Sure,
it's just so
like,
stupid. Like, why are there dozens of gators in this hurricane that just can't wait to rip you apart?
Gator Bay.
They
were trying to throw a hurricane party at the house, and the humans ruined it. I showed up and ruined it.
That's right.
My god! Yeah, it was dumb. It was dumb. Florida boys complained for an hour.
I know. You're welcome. I guess. All right, let's go ahead and rate this thing out of 5. Rand Diesel, how do you feel about Crawl?
In spite of all that we've said, I still can't help but have part of me that enjoyed watching this movie even the second time a little bit, the more I think of it, but like for totally different reasons and not nearly as much. I don't know, man. I feel like the biggest thing this movie gets wrong is the human story, which is just dog shit to the point where even I consider Barry Pepper to be a decent actor, gets dragged down into like fucking like Lifetime original level fucking dialogue and terrible fucking very obvious exposition. And the girl, like, really, like, what's her name? I don't know. I just don't. The performance did not work for me, man. Like, it was amateurish seeming to me, and a lot of that probably was the writing as well. So I don't know, man. Like, those things really drag it down. But there's something that I still kind of like, and I think it's mostly the action, those kills that we mentioned, and the just general like look and shooting of things. Like the CG notwithstanding, the way things are blocked and the way things like are shown on screen and established, whether or not they're established too heavily, I think each shot taken out of context looks pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna give it like I think I'm gonna give it a 2. It's not like the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not medium, but it's certainly not good. But it's not a 1. I don't think.
Kind of loose.
I would say medium to loose.
It's
like
a loose deuce from Rand Deuce.
It is.
We got it.
It's sliding right out.
A loosest deuce from Rand Deuce.
There you go. Soju, how do you feel?
Yeah, you know what? We laid into this movie a lot, but a couple things I'll say to kind of echo Randy's sentiment a bit there is, you know what? This might be a good movie to watch with someone who doesn't really like horror or can't really watch horror, but wants some tension or wants a little bit of those scares, because it's nothing supernatural. You know, people have maybe some trouble with like ghosts or demons or something like that, but it's got something where there's a threat, and kind of reminds me of The Gray a little bit. You know, it's probably something you could watch with family or watch with dad, or throw on with someone who's not a horror hound, but you want to share some time with. It's probably good for that, and it's
a good family watch.
Well, it's medium enough to where if it's on, it's not like pissing me off. It's just kind of boring. It's just not really special, but it's not like so terrible. I think the performances are not good, but they're fine enough to get through an hour film, and like the sequences are not particularly exciting or interesting, but they're kind of good enough to get through an hour film, so
mediocrity,
it's not the worst thing I've seen, and it's not offensive. It's just not special at all. So yeah, I think I'll echo Randy and give it 2 as well. Bob, out of 5, I'm gonna rate Crawl.
Yeah.
Crawling in my skin.
Crawling in. This movie is like on its face sounds like such a good time, and I think what you get is just kind of a wet fart version of what the movie could have been.
Yeah,
it just sounds so rad. But they just try and take it a little too seriously, and I think the writing's pretty bad, and like the logic of it just doesn't really make any sense. Like they could have got stuck in the attic, and they would have made sense if that happens to people, and like why in the crawl space. I mean, I know the movie's called Crawl, but it's so big you don't have to crawl. It cracked me up when like she first got down there and was crawling on her hands and knees. I was like, you can walk, and then she just starts walking after a few minutes. I was like, why? Just because it's called Crawl? I don't know. Shit like that is just, you're like, you can do a little better. I know you can. I've seen Alex Ajaw's other shit, and like he can do way better. A lot of Florida ass complaints. But yeah, ultimately it's just shitty CG Gator action and bad writing. I echo what you guys are saying. There is a certain element of like, but it's fine. Like if somebody wanted to watch it, sure, why not? It's fine enough. So like I think we're all just gonna sit at a solid 2 even on this.
Yeah,
2 out of 5.
Wow, there we go.
Seems reasonable.
I I think I'm at the point where I'm not an aha head.
I was looking.
I'm not on board.
He did that space one, which was definitely better. But other than that
not
space
Life,
one,
the other one,
Oxygen, I think.
Oxygen. Yeah.
Oh,
Oxygen.
yeah. I did that.
High Tension, Oxygen. Those are movies that I consider all right. Maybe not on revisit. Who knows?
I haven't seen Horns. That had what's his name in it, right?
Daniel Radcliffe.
Potter. Yeah.
That movie kind of has similar. It's like got good moments, but at the end of it, you're like, that could have been better. You know, kind of like this. Like,
yeah, he was a producer on P. Deuce, but he didn't direct it.
ooh, P. Deuce.
Mirrors. The Hills Have Eyes. I do not care for.
Yeah. So
Piranha 3D I have
he's
not
pretty
seen.
hit or miss. Mostly
So there's
miss.
Well, I'm gonna say like Oxygen's all right. Crawl is like a 2. We gave it a 2. I don't know.
Horns
Never
might
Let
be
Go. I'm not
okay.
familiar with. Horns might be okay. Piranha 3D. You guys tell me because I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen it either.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think
Hills
I've
Have
seen
Eyes is
bits. It's hard to
big
get
skip
through
for
that
me.
one. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
He did something last year called Never Let Go, which I never heard of. So I'm assuming it's probably not very good.
Oh, that's the one with Halle Berry. Okay, that's the one with
no.
Halle Berry, and she has kids, and they have to stay tethered to a rope in their remote cabin, or else they face some sort of evil danger.
Never saw that.
I don't know. Never saw
even
it. I was
heard
a
of
little
that.
intrigued by it, but a little bit less so now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, there you go.
We gave it a 2 out of 5. Let's jump over to our Rotten Tomatoes segment, see what the critics and users think about Crawl.
Certified.
All right, gents. This is the Rotten Tomatoes segment in which I'm going to have these folks guess within the best of their abilities what the aggregate positive score is on RottenTomatoes.com for Crawl. We're going to start as we always do with the Tomatometer, which has 212 reviews, and then move over to the Poopometer, or the users with 5,000 plus verified ratings. So, again, 212 reviews for the Tomatometer for the critics. I'll start with Bob tonight. Bob, where do you think those critics are going to land? What's the aggregate?
That is an interesting question, Rand Diesel. How many of them are from Florida?
Very philosophical.
I'll take comedy number 69, please.
All right. 69 dudes. Got it. Juice, how about you?
Yeah, this is tough because I feel like most of these reviews are going to come out or would have been written when this movie came out. And like both of you remembered it more positively. And I'm going to kind of lean into that. So I'm going to bump it up a scotch and say 75.
75. All right. Well, the correct answer is pretty decently far away from the closest answer, which is 9 percentage points difference. The correct answer is 84%. Certified fresh. Soju's walking away with this one. I was a little blown away to see that number.
Damn.
That's kind of nuts. Yeah. I don't know why everyone was so positive at the beginning. Something about it. Something about 2019. Maybe COVID ruined it.
Maybe it was just like maybe it was a year filled with like really heavy horror. That seems like it could have been.
You know what? I bet it is. I think the COVID paradox, maybe the movie was better back in 2019, but now we're in some alternate universe
it's the Mandela
where
effect.
It's worse. You see,
It was better, and there's no residue of it being better. But
Yeah,
Mandela knows.
You're on to it.
See, you got to have that big brain thinking there. You know, you got to really look past the bullshit and really
Do your own research.
You really gotta.
Yeah.
You gotta do your own. You gotta be a
get into
thinker.
numerology. You know,
Yeah.
69. Oh, wow, that's almost 666. Oh, it's the sign of the devil. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta
So
do
let's
that.
move on.
You
do
gotta
exactly
be
that.
numbers, and you know.
You gotta
Numbers.
You gotta do the numbers. You gotta say,
not the
"Ellie."
There it is. I was like, it's gonna.
I knew. I saw you waiting. Like
He's
I saw
drawing.
Bob was like,
Damn.
Bob was like, I think it's coming here.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
Halloween Horror Nights, just waiting for somebody to fucking yell hell ski to me.
It is a horror. All right. Let's jump over to the poopometer, the 5,000 plus verified user ratings. We're going to go in reverse order on this one. Soju, what are you thinking for this?
Probably lower. Probably, I would think. But I don't know. I think this is so medium enough. And like I said, I think people not into horror are maybe going to be coming into this and be maybe more forgiving. So I'll stick with the 75.
75. All right. Bobby, can you give it to me?
So that we can tie
today
77. I'll take a 77.
Oh, wow.
Okay, all right. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. We got ourselves a ringy dingy on this one. Someone got it right on the pinpoint, and that particular pinpoint's going to be 75%. Soju's walking away this week.
Oh, that's a hell yeah, sweet. Sweeping some yeets this week.
Vengeance will be mine, blowhole.
You blowhole. Both of those numbers are quite high.
Yeah.
I agree, but at least 75% from users I could see.
Yeah, like I said, I think, people like general audiences are more coming into this and being fine
Less
with it.
nerdy folks than us. I could see just being like, that was pretty good.
It's popcorn.
Yeah. Hell, that was us for fuck's sake at one point.
Yeah, I was really basing it off of y'all's initial reactions.
Then you got to put your big brain on and analyze it, and it just
You gotta think
everything.
about that Mandela effect, you know.
What about that Mandela effect? Tell me more about that.
Well, you see, Randy, there's this shift that happened when they turned on that particle accelerator, you see, and everything after that has shifted us into a new alternate reality where everything is just a little bit worse. Sometimes a lot worse.
It's the kind of place where people yell hell skeet, I understand.
See, back before the particle accelerator was turned on, I said something else that was
that everybody loved. Universally beloved, shot us into the stratosphere. We were very famous.
It was on t-shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Can't believe we haven't noticed this before.
I was like a Bart Simpson type character, but now hearing this shitty.
Don't have a cow, man. It was that level for sure.
Cowabunga, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go ahead real quick. The critics' consensus does read as follows: an action-packed creature feature that's fast, terrifying, and benefits greatly from a completely game Kaya Scodelario. Sure. Scodelario. There we go.
Scodelario.
Crawl is a fun throwback with just enough self-awareness to work. There it is. So I don't know, man.
Terrifying. What?
Seems pretty generous, and I think
that is quite generous.
I think that matches our rating. Let's go ahead and read some negative reviews so we can hear what our fellow haters have to say about this movie. Let's see. This is fun. This one just reads episode 42, Crawl, the last black man in San Francisco, Chernobyl, Midsummer. So somebody just put in their episode notes for their podcast instead of a quote, I guess.
Oh my
God. Auto pulled that. I don't know. It just made me laugh.
Cool.
All right, one more. A hopelessly conventional horror B movie built on hurricanes, cardboard characters, and computer-generated alligators.
Yes.
Give this man an award.
Yes.
That's correct. On all fronts. Yeah. Okay, and here's one more. Just because this is also pretty good. Crawl isn't a film off which to base any logical deductions. It's also not a film you should see sober or at all.
That's true. Yes.
Make yourself a Category 5 hurricane while you watch this movie.
Oof. We are not putting this one on the straight chilling calendar.
I would watch this movie during a hurricane party with friends getting drunk. That I would do.
The perfect situation.
Maybe.
I think it's a great situation to watch this movie. Yeah. With a bunch of Florida boys who are just
I'd rather throw on booties, but
You
Yeah, you should
double
just
also
feature
on the
Hurricane
poll.
Party.
As long as you got power, you can watch whatever you like.
As
That's
long as
true.
you have
And
power
Bob's out there
during a
working
Category
it out.
5 hurricane.
I know, you better
Yeah.
start them early. Fire up
This
that
is what
Jenny.
Bob's looking for tips right now. He's trying to get them donations for his utility work.
Give me that rangy dang, I'll get you back.
Mhm.
We got a fuckload of trivia. Let's do it.
Cool.
It's totally time for trivia.
All right, there, boys. This $15 million budget for this movie, it grossed $91 million at the box office. Not too bad there. It was also produced by Sam Raimi, which I had forgotten about that.
I saw his name in the credits, and that got me even more excited.
Yeah.
It feels like the kind of thing he'd produce. I mean, like he likes like pretty insular stories that are just like what they are on the surface. Doesn't need a whole lot of tinkering. This movie needed some tinkering, but it makes sense that he's involved. It just seems like the kind
It would
of
have been
thing
more
that you
fun
would
if he
roll the
directed
dice
it.
on.
Yes.
I agree.
I believe
I totally agree with that. The fucking gator would puke guts all over or some shit.
Yes.
This was shot primarily in a warehouse in Belgrade, Serbia over 41 days. It's the first Paramount film to ever be shot in Serbia.
Hey, congrats, I guess.
They did
Weird.
some additional filming in the United States around the Tampa Bay, St. Pete area as well.
A little like Tampa Bay.
Yeah, with the trees and the roads.
There's one place missing though.
I met somebody the other day who I think she said she lived in Winter Haven or something, and I was like, weird.
That's great.
You're
In Korea.
Korea. Yeah.
I know.
Well, you remember we saw somebody wearing a Jaguars jersey when we were there.
Yeah.
Walking down the street and I said, "Hey, go Jags," just to like strike up a conversation. He acted like he had no fucking idea what I was saying to him. I think he might have just gotten
Might not have.
Last year when I was in Busan, I was wearing my Jags jersey, and somebody was like, "Oh, we're from Jacksonville." I was like, "What the fuck?" In Busan, not even in Seoul.
That's crazy. Wow.
What the fuck? Get out of here.
There can be only one. The boys are here to play.
We're here to play, baby.
They had some practical gators, including the baby gators. They were created for like maybe 4 or 5 takes. The rest of them were all CG gators, and they used Serbian stuntmen wearing green spandex suits in place of the gators.
Oh God!
Divers recreating gator movements underwater, and even Alex Aja holding a pole attached to a pillow wrapped in green fabric that the actors were just reacting to.
I mean,
You do what you gotta do.
it's good to know that this is still not the worst Serbian film.
Yeah.
What is the worst Serbian film? What'd you
That's for
say?
you to find out. Do a little research. I'm sure you'll stumble upon
Hey,
it.
we reviewed it. Check it out.
We
Episode-
did review that. Jesus.
Episode like 180 something. It was forever ago.
I think
Boys,
we subjected
we're
our boy
like-
Mikey to it, if I remember right.
I think he picked
subjected
it.
us to it.
I think he picked it.
That's what it was. Okay. And that's why we subjected him to many other films that
Yeah.
most people
Yeah.
should not watch.
Boys, this is like 531 or something. We're almost halfway to 600.
Well, more than
Jesus.
halfway. But of this 100, yeah.
Well, I mean, of this one, yeah.
Yeah.
30%, boys. Here we go.
Math.
God
31. 31.
God damn.
They built 7 water tanks for this movie, which were filled simply to carry water. 4 were used for each section of the house, and a larger 3-meter tall, 60-meter by 80-meter tank was used for the neighborhood. According to the Serbian Film Commission, most of the film was shot after the house was flooded with the main water tank. They used roughly 5 million liters of water a day, which is
Oh my God.
seems like a lot of waste.
That was another thing I was thinking when I was watching this. I was like, this looks miserable to film.
Oh, yeah.
It does.
Look, I mean, I give credit to actors being willing to be submerged in water longer than David fucking Blaine just to get the shot.
Well,
Ugh.
yeah, your girl Scodelario, she said it was the most physically demanding shoot of her entire career. She's, quote, "I was broken at the end of every day. We were shooting 16 to 18 hours a day. I was on set all day." She lost 12 pounds while shooting the movie.
Ooh.
She is
Broke a finger.
thin.
Yeah, she's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She got beat up. She was out there doing it, putting in the work.
Jesus.
Aja said they had several
Respect.
discussions on whether or not the dog would live or die. They had several scenarios involving a gator biting the dog's tail off, main character feeding the dog to the gator to escape.
What the fuck?
Even the dog sacrificing itself to save its owners, but they went with a happy ending.
I thought they might go that route.
Yeah.
Like that's the route I kind of expected them to go. And I'm man, if they killed the dog or like had the fucking
been mad.
lead kill the dog, then this movie suddenly becomes a
Yeah,
one-star
who
movie.
throws their That's
Like
terrible.
what fucking absolute monster? What sort of Christy Gnome ass motherfucker is gonna do that shit?
Oh man.
Apparently, the design of the gators were based on a stuffed Mississippi alligator. Look at that, they didn't even go with the Florida gator. Located at the American Museum of Natural History and a sheltered gator in Miami called Godzilla. So I guess they did use one Florida gator. Thank you.
We just paid $12,000.
Worth it. Your Patreon dollars at work.
10 years of Patreon dollars.
20. We just haven't. We're actually in the hole.
In August of 2024, Paramount greenlit a sequel titled Crawl 2. The IMDb plot says,
"Oh no."
In New York City, a family's survival skills are put to the ultimate test as they navigate the urban wilderness.
Sweet.
You know what, though? I mean, gators in
God.
the sewers and stuff. I mean, at least that sounds like, urban
Watch
legends.
Alligator. Then
Yeah.
watch Alligator. But also, what's crazy is I was going to talk about this in what you've been watching, but immediately after this, Beck threw on A Quiet Place Day 1, and I like there's a few moments where they're like basically swimming in fucking flooded subway tunnels, and I was like, this is somehow grosser than Florida swamp water. But essentially kind of
way worse.
A little similar, some similarities there. So like if you aggregated those two movies together, I would basically have that Crawl 2 pitch.
Crawl deuce. So since 1948, when officials began tracking alligator bites involving people in Florida, there have been 487 unprovoked bites throughout 2024, according to Florida Wildlife Control.
400 in 2024 alone?
No. Since they started tracking them in 1948. So.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so in 80 years, there's been 400.
Yeah, not a ton.
Gotcha.
Only 27 were ever fatal. So it's pretty rare that somebody dies from a random gator
Unprovoked.
attack.
That's 5 per year. That's not much.
That's nothing, baby.
That's nothing. I get bitten 5 times on my way to work every day.
Well, no, 27 fatal since the year 1948. So that is not 5 a year. That's where
he was saying the 400 the attacks averaged out.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. You got to get on that numerology.
We're not
Bob.
numerologists, Bob.
I gotta unlock.
I pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
You got to really think. You got to be a thinker, Bob.
Rookie.
You're
Gotta be a
obviously
real
not
thinker.
a thinker.
That's how you pump and dump.
Okay.
You want to be a dumper? You want to be a dumper, Bob? You got to be a thinker.
Now I'm
Always be dumping.
Gotta do it.
I'll put that on a bumper sticker.
ABD says Randy. Always be dumping.
Always be dumping. Dumping is for winners.
Hell yeah. I've got some other random statistics here about hurricanes. Hurricanes are way more deadly than any gator attacks. Like, tens, dozens, sometimes hundreds of people die from hurricanes in Florida a year. This is the last bit that I'll have here just to cut it kind of short. So the category 1 through 5 system for hurricanes, it's based on the wind speed is how the categories are broken up. So Cat 1 is 74 to 95 miles an hour. Cat 2 is 96 to 110. Category 3 is 111 through 129. Category 4 is 130 through 156. Category 5 is 157 miles an hour or above. So helicopters
So
are
obviously during a Category 5, the most safe place for you to be is on your roof.
Yeah. So there you go. There's some random information for you there. Let's go and jump over into our Cooter of the week.
Straight chillin'. Cooter of the week.
Juice, what is a Cooter and why do we hunt them?
Cooter's character type in a straight chillin' exclusive. Cooter has to hit 3 of these 5 points to be considered a Cooter, but we want the Cooter with the most points. The 5 points of Cooterdom are sexual deviancy, manipulation, smug arrogance, overall looking attire, and overall patheticness. We going Gators, boys. Gator hunting.
They look like shit. They got the looking attire for sure.
They are sexually promiscuous gators. We all know that.
I mean,
I don't know, man. I don't know if there's a Cooter in this, but like as you, I was thinking, ready to be like, I don't know, is there one? Probably not. But as you started listing the points, I was like, is there an argument for dad? Probably. He's the only sexual being in the entire movie, so there's that.
He was sexual?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
He grows his fucking goatee for online dating. That's as far as it goes.
I was like, what? Gross.
I'm just trying my best to find the best candidate. I know. I'm not saying it's a good point, but I am saying it's the closest
online
to
dater.
You know, what a fucking creep.
Ladies are looking for that mustache ride, you know.
Smug arrogance, like the manipulation, the smug arrogance. The shitty, like him being a shitty dad about being a coach to the point where his wife leaves him. I don't know. Pathetic, maybe. I don't know.
Pathetic writing.
Know.
Like with that. No, it's just.
That's the thing is like, I think none of this really holds water, but I'm just really trying to make the best case for anybody.
Randy.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know.
Doesn't hold the water.
Crawl is alligatoring and
I'm gonna go smear some mud on my ass.
I think Barry
Death
Pepper got
rolling
bitten
into
from
theaters.
trying to give a handy J to the croc.
whoa, that's why they took his arm.
Deviance.
Handy
We
J
need this more than
the
you do.
that gator bait, eh? You know what I'm saying?
That is. He's giving a whole new meaning to the word.
Go, Gator. Go, Gator.
I don't know. There's no Cooters in this. This is like even the
There's
fucking
no
burglars.
people in this, yeah.
Even the burglars are not hitting Cooter vibes anyway.
I
to
mean,
me.
Well, I don't know. Maybe the dude's stealing the hot dogs.
Yeah.
Maybe that
gross,
guy.
but it's gross.
He's pathetic because he's stealing dollar sunglasses in the middle of a
but
Category 5 hurricane.
He does look really cool after he puts them on, though. So
He does not. So looking attire and patheticness.
He looks really cool.
Smug arrogance, maybe.
I don't know, man.
It's a stretch. I don't think so.
Oh, too bad.
Cooter free.
Maybe Sugar's a Cooter. We just can't tell.
That dog was just dry humping the gators, and that's why this whole thing started.
That dog's a
Sugar
world-class
is a
gooner.
stripper's name. I mean,
Shit. Wait, hating on sex workers now? Come on.
no, I never would.
Sugar
never
Gator is my
Never would do
stage
that.
name.
Sugar Gator.
Come make it rain.
We don't
like a
usually stay on the
hurricane.
rails, but this is pretty far afield.
Yeah,
from the rails.
we're off.
Rock me a Cat 5 while I'm on stage and then dollar bills, y'all.
Okay.
Know what I'm saying? Okay, that's no Cooter this week. Let's talk about what we've been watching, boys.
Okay, let's do just that.
Hey gang, what you been watching?
Rand Diesel, what you been watching?
Yeah, so we got a little bit of backup here from a few weeks. So I did finish up The Rehearsal. What an interesting fucking show. Very, very strange fucking show. I really like it. Fielder is a madman, and I don't necessarily mean that entirely complimentary or entirely derivatively, or whatever, negatively. What a strange fucking show. I started watching a British comedy sketch type, not sketch, but British comedy show called Taskmaster, which I had heard people talk about quite a bit, and I think is making a big surge in the States now for the same reason that I watched it for the first time, which is that Jason Mantzoukas is one of the contestants. It's a 5-person contestant show hosted by Greg Davies, the English comedian, and they devise like really bizarre, pointless tasks for these comedians to do, and then they get graded based on their performance or whatever. And it's very light and silly and fun and stupid, and I like it. I've come to like it quite a lot. I've watched all, I think, 6 or 7 episodes that are available, and they're all free on YouTube. So, or at least this season so far has been. So I'm gonna probably go back in the catalog. It's like 19 seasons in. This show's been on for fucking ever, apparently.
Damn.
Yeah, I like it. I mentioned already that I watched A Quiet Place Day 1, which I think might be my favorite of the bunch. I was always a little bit split on the first 2 movies. This one cut a lot of the dross out of it for my tastes, and I love Lupita Nyong'o. She's great. Fear Street Prom Queen, I mentioned that already. Watched that for the Plug It Up episode with Caitlin, and yeah, you can hear my opinion on that there. Let's see, and then last but not least, I did actually get to go to a fun concert, I should say, this like a week from Saturday, of the Avett Brothers, who I haven't seen live since Shaky Knees, and I actually haven't actively listened to in many years. I was expecting to hear a lot of songs I didn't know, and I heard almost all songs that I fucking know by heart, and I was like, man, I was way more into this band than I remember being. And I had a really good time, despite the fact that it was an outdoor venue, the Wolf Trap Amphitheater, for those who know about that. And it got like torrential downpour right before the first band started playing, and we almost left. I was soaked for most of that show.
That sucks.
But it actually turned out really nice, and I don't regret staying at all. So that was great. And last but not least, I'm still working through Echoes of Wisdom. I've been picking it up here and there when I've been able to find time, which has been very limited recently. And I still love this game. It's a really, really fun game, and I'm really excited to play it on the Switch 2 that I purchased against better judgment. So I'm gonna try that out probably tonight. That's it.
Sweet deal. Juice, what you been watching?
I watched that new Predator movie, Killer of Killers. It's animated. It's on Hulu right now. And it kind of goes off the premise of the last film, but it splits. It's kind of like anthology though. So it's got predators fighting like Vikings and samurai and stuff like that. So I'm going to do a mini cast on that. But yeah,
is that a series or a movie?
It's a movie.
It is a movie. Okay, I thought
it's split into like 3 different segments. Yeah, it's like a little anthology deal. But yeah, I think I probably would have preferred them to just kind of be their own movies. Really made me want to, when I was watching the Viking segment, really made me want to watch Vikings, the show, which was really good. So, but yeah, I'm going to do a mini cast on that. I thought it was pretty decent watch. And I started watching that new Captain America movie, and it just could not hold my attention. It's like streaming on Disney, and like I got maybe 20 minutes and I was like, geez, I don't know how Marvel got so bad. I can't.
It's a rough one.
It's damn, dude. It's just so not interesting.
Fantastic Four picks up some steam, I guess, but
it hasn't released yet.
I guess I've been hearing preview people then.
Yeah, I like the aesthetic that they're going with Fantastic Four. I'm definitely intrigued. Yeah. I hope it's better. And I actually heard that Rob liked that Thunderbolts movie, so I'll wait for that to come out on streaming.
That was solid.
Yeah, but this Captain America, man, dude, I just fucking couldn't give a shit at all. So didn't finish that. I went to Super Mario World at Universal. Well, I mean, I went to Universal Studios in Japan, and but mostly I went to go to Nintendo Land or whatever. And it was really funny because I don't know how new it is, but it's still really popular. And I had to show up like 2.5 hours early before opening, and I still wasn't like first in line or whatever. But it was fine. I was traveling by myself, and when they finally let us in, people were like running. It's like in the back of the park to get there. I got like some quick video of people running, and since I was by myself, like I didn't really want to, but I was like, fuck it, like I'm by myself and I don't give a fuck what anybody hears. So I was like running, and I just like it was so funny and ridiculous to me that I was just laughing hysterically, like as I'm running. I hope somebody out there has this video of just this random dude like
losing his shit.
Yeah, it was really cool though. I will say it was really, really cool.
I think that one's been open for like 3 years, maybe.
But they still don't have it in Orlando, right? They don't have.
No, they do.
It just opened. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's part of the new park. They just opened.
I gotcha. But I will say it was like really cool. I mean, I'm not crazy about theme parks, but it was just a lot of fun to spend some time in there. The rides were pretty fun. So yeah, I enjoyed that. And then I have been listening to this album that is really good. I'm surprised at how much I enjoy it, but it's called Take Care. It's from 2024, so I'm not fresh on this, but it's by Big X The Plug. And the great thing about it, it's a hip hop album, 15 tracks, 31 minutes. It is like each track is a clean, like a little over 2 minutes, not a lot of features and not a lot of fluff, not a lot of filler and skits. It's a great workout album. Have been really enjoying that album a lot, actually. So recommend people check that out. But I think that's all I've been watching and doing and seeing. Bob, what you been watching?
Just a couple things. I also finished the new season of The Rehearsal. Super weird, super interesting show. Definitely worth checking out if you're interested in aviation in any way. Weird.
Of all things.
Yeah. I finished up the second season of The Last of Us, and I know that show's been getting just a bunch of like random hate. I was really into it until the end. It's a really short season, and it just like leaves you with a cliffhanger, and it's just like felt really unsatisfying. Like I don't know why they wouldn't have just stretched it out, or maybe they just didn't have the budget for it, or I don't know. But I think it was only like 6 episodes, and it just sort of like ended, and I was like, oh, okay, well, whatever, man. I watched a newer release called Marshmallow. And this is kind of like a modern day summer camp. This kid goes to summer camp and they tell this campfire ghost story about this evil doctor that lives in the woods who was walking around at night and killing kids that are out of their beds. And crazy stuff happens. I guess that's really all you can say without spoiling it. It definitely sets you up to expect a slasher movie, and then it does not give you that at all. Kind of an interesting way to end the movie, but I did not love the ride getting there. It felt like just kind of boring and difficult to pay attention to. I'd heard like a lot of really positive reviews for it, and I think it won some audience award at one of the film festivals. I don't remember which one, but there's a lot of like positive praise, so I was like, okay, that sounds cool. I can get into like a summer camp slasher movie. Wasn't my thing though. Didn't necessarily care for that too much. Revisited The Burbs. It's amazing. It's a classic. It's a 5-star movie. Watch it for sure. It like scratches that summer vibe for me pretty good. Never get tired of it. And then Dangerous Animals, which I saw in the theater, and like I said, I got a mini cast coming out for that. A lot of fun. Also scratches that summer vibe itch, so check that out as well. And that's about it from you boy Bob.
Damn.
There you go.
Dangerous Animals. Gotta check that one out.
For real.
DANGEROUSANIMAL.
Yes.
S.
So we don't have any.
What a catchy.
I know.
Sorry.
So damn catchy. Isn't it? What a great hook.
DANGIOUS.
Fish. We don't have any voicemails. Nobody loves us this week, which is just
Oh my God. Everybody's just been sliding into my DMs. All right. Well, moving the DMs to the voicemails, everyone.
just shit checking you. If you do want to call in and leave a voicemail for next week, hit us up at 904-638-3231. Prompts? Anything you guys
What are we covering next week, Bob?
Talking about another You Pick the Flick. This is the last one of the second quarter, actually. Chosen by your boy Mike. The movie is The Monster from 2016.
Oh, okay.
I know nothing about that.
Me too.
It's a sneaky A24. I feel like this is one not a lot of people have seen before. Yeah.
I've never heard of it. That's interesting.
Okay.
I have no prompts. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like we've done a lot of like cryptid and stuff, so I don't really want to do that one.
Our prompts have been falling flat recently. Just call in.
Just
remind.
Be nice
tell
to
us what's on
hear
your mind.
from you.
Call your mother, please. And we're your mother in this scenario.
Call your Diddy Soju.
Gross. Call in. What's your summer plans?
Bob on that one.
What are your summer plans? You wrestling Gators? What are you doing? You taking a vacation? You taking a trip? Going to the beach?
Yeah, it's summertime. People have been.
You guys going camping?
Yes.
That was way louder than it ought to.
Yeah, it was really loud. But yeah, people have been posting some delicious looking summer snacks. Made me want to get some vanilla ice cream the other day. Whoa.
Ooh, vanilla ice cream. Yeah, what are you snacking on? What are you doing with your
some ice cream?
What are you doing with your summertime?
Ice cream and boiled peanuts.
Just wasting away the summer days.
With some ice cream and boiled peanuts.
Just got a jaw full of the ice cream.
Okay.
Give me a big scoop of that vanilla ice cream.
Jesus Christ.
A gentleman should know the difference.
We're not going to get any calls this way. I can tell you that.
Hit us up, 904-638-3231. That's it till next week. Check out The Monster from 2016. Get ready for next week's show. Till then, hit us up on all the social medias. We're everywhere. Just search Straight Chilling Podcast. We'll pop right up. If you want to join in the daily Slack channel conversations, hit us up on social media. I'll send you a link so you can do so. And until next week, as always, all you mother truckers, please keep chilling.
Go Gator.